Thank you for tuning in to BG Adventures. I am not doing a project today. I am not building something. I am not... Hello, Carl. For the next couple of videos, I am switching gears a little bit. I am going to attempt to do a podcast that my goal is to help men be better men. I'm going to talk about my book. I'm going to talk about a bunch of stuff, but I just wanted to let you know that if you tuned in for building a deck or whatever, a project, not happening for the next couple of videos. I feel compelled by God to put these out, and hopefully you guys get something out of it. And if you haven't found Jesus as your Savior, hopefully this will encourage you to do so. Stick around. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about. I'm trying to figure out if the stuff I have to say is even worth listening to for you spending your precious time listening to my knowledge. I don't know. I think I'm just going to start with an introduction of who I am and why I'm here and why I think I want to talk to you guys, and we'll go from there. So, where do I start? How far back do I go? Because once I start, I know that I'm going to need to tell stories to reference what I'm talking about. Let's just start with this. I am sitting in my property. I am sitting on my property in my barn in Tennessee. I like to call the property Cedar Point because the road to get in is like a roller coaster. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, but that's where I stole the name from. And I have hundreds, literally hundreds of cedar trees. I sit and look out and I think, well, let's just go count them. But I'm not going to. There's literally hundreds. So the property is called Cedar Point. It is 4.5 acres. There's 2 acres approximately up top, and there's 2 acres approximately 150 feet down at the bottom with river frontage on the Clinch River. And it's a process getting down there, but when I do, it's more peaceful than up top, and up top is peaceful. I live in a tiny house. It is 420 square feet. It is an old, I think 1995, 53-foot dropped semi-trailer that I converted into a tiny house. And it is not finished, but I absolutely love it. Outside, off the house, like I mentioned, I have a deck, has stairs going down either side, and I have another deck up by the coming off the master bedroom. The backyard is landscaped without being fancy. I cleaned up all the scrub, all the trees, all the weeds. I exposed the natural rock that's there. I have a fire pit, etc. And then I got my barn. Woo! My barn is twice the size of my house, as it should be for any man. I have woodworking equipment. I have metalworking equipment. I have my bikes and my kayaks and my fishing gear. And we are sitting in the clean room, I call it. But to look at it, it's not clean because you can't see it, but up over here is an open wall. And leaves and rain and blah, blah, blah is blow in. So, but in here I use it for this podcast. I have behind you guys in front of me, I have all my crafts. I make soap. I did make t-shirts, but my Cricut broke. I do paintings, etc., etc. And I built this table, and the purpose of the table was to sit behind and talk to you guys. So why did I move down to Tennessee? I had somebody ask me that today, actually. His name's Robert. He was at the garage sale. I moved to Tennessee because God told me to. I hope that you're a Christian watching this, but if you're not, I hope you decide to accept Jesus as your Savior. But 15 years ago-ish, probably a little more than that now, God told me to be in Tennessee, and I ignored him up until 3 years ago. And I'm not going to get into the details of that, the relationship that literally caused me to be down here, inspired me to be down here. I thank her for that, but she's not down here with me. And I have been down here since January 1st of 25, which is this year. And I have been wondering why God sent me down here. And I ask him several times a day, show me, tell me. And what I got from him a week or so ago was, you are down here since January for the last 7 months. 8 months almost. And for those 8 months, I needed you to just heal. I needed you to get the property ready. I needed you to get back in or get into my word more. And that was Carl moving. And that gave me a sense of peace because I didn't know if I missed his calling for me. Last week at church, I go to a non-denominational church down here, and the pastor took some getting used to, but he's on fire for Jesus, and he fires me up. And excuse me, I'm not going to edit any of that out. This is going to be goodness. Anywho, he's on fire for Jesus, and his sermon last week was about, what is your calling? And I went up to the altar because the pastor had an altar call for anybody that wanted to pray in over their calling. And I begged, I screamed a little bit in my head for God to show me something. And what he showed me was, tell your story. I have a book out. I'll talk about that later. It's called Be a Better Manual. It's a Christian guide to being a better man, father, and husband. And I thought that was the purpose. Just get that out, let people buy it, let them read it, let's see what they think about it, let them learn something from it. Well, that book doesn't sell very much. So that wasn't, it's part of the plan, but it's not all of it. So the impression I got from, is it getting dark in here? Should we turn the lights on? I got lights in here. Probably should have done that from the get-go. Yeah, look at that. Wow, is that better or not? I don't know. I figure everything out in time. Woo, I'm sweating. Humid. It's like 80 degrees. But anyway, tell your story. So I did the book, and I don't think that was it. So what I have been doing is posting to Facebook. The last 4 days, today will be 5, about my story, about my testimony, how God has helped me in my life, and hopefully inspiring others to find Jesus if they haven't, and accept him as their Lord, and, Carl's leaving, and this sounds weird, but reap the benefits of having a personal relationship with him, because I will get into it later. There are many benefits to having Jesus Christ as your Savior. Peace. Peace is the biggest thing. What I have also found is I don't have any fear, but I'm going to cover those in future podcasts. But what I wanted to do today was introduce myself and tell you about where I am, why I want to do this podcast, and we'll go from there. I don't know. I'm just going to talk to you. I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe to this. It's going to be on my BG Adventures YouTube channel. I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe to it. I am simply going to ask you to tune in next time. Carl sneezed. Carl is a big part of my life. He is an English bulldog with an attitude. I like to call him the endangered, what was it? The endangered Tennessee wild hairy hippo. Oh, now he's licking my legs. But I'm going to call that short. Looking at my clock, this is about as long. I don't really want to go any longer than this. And I will see you in the next video.